Say, Amos, this seems like Sunday.
Well, it is Sunday. You see, Andy, we is on the radio now every Sunday on CBS for Rinso.
That's right. Lever Brothers Company, the makers of New Rinso with Solium, brings you the show selected by you listeners as the best Amos and Andy program of 1948. Yes, sir, Rinso, the soap that contains Solium, the sunlight ingredient, brings you a full half hour of entertainment with Lou Lubin, Eddie Green, Ernestine Wade, the Jubilaires, Jeff Alexander's orchestra and chorus, and radio's all-time favorites, Amos and Andy. The Kingfish, as head of the lodge, has asked a few of the members to come over to the lodge hall on a very important matter. They met at 8 o'clock in the evening, and now at 2:30 in the morning, they're still gathered around the conference table, diligently pursuing the business at hand.
Well, Brother Andy, what do you say?
I got a pair of aces.
What you got, Henry?
I've got 3 jacks.
Too bad, boys. I got a full house, 3 9s and 2 10s.
Wait a minute. Hold the pot, fellas. Hold the pot. Hold it.
What you got, Shorty?
I got 4 of a kind. I got a spade. I got a first gun with a... I got a royal... a 6 card.
Wait a minute, though. That puts you out of the pot, Shorty. Well, it's my pot again, boys. Yeah, well, it's getting pretty late, too. I think we ought to call it quits. I've really been lucky tonight.
Yeah, I ain't won a pot all evening. I done lost 8 stacks.
Yeah, I lost 4 stacks myself.
Yes, and I'm out 6 stacks. You was the only winner, Kingfish. You cleaned everybody. How much did it amount to?
Well, now, let me see here. I win 18 stacks. 100 to a stack, 18, 11, 22, 47, 822. Boys, you owe me 8 cents.
Here's mine.
Yeah, put it in the middle of the table, boy.
Well, here you are.
Yeah, there he is, Kingfish. Grand total's 8 cents. Huh?
Well, it's late, fellas. I'm going to get on home.
Yo, wait a minute, Shorty. I'm going the same direction. I'll go with you.
Yes, and I'm going too, boys. Good night, Kingfish.
So long, King.
So long, boy.
So long, so long.
8 cents. 1, 2, 3, and a nickel. Wait a minute here. This here's a lead nickel. Now, how you like them cheats? Of all the low-down, sneaky, good-for-nothing tricks, a lead nickel. Serves them right that I was dealing off the bottom of the deck. Well, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I certainly hope that my wife Sapphire's asleep. Hello there, honey. Just playing a little innocent cards, honey. What you putting on the light for now? What you mad about?
I've been waiting up for you for 5 hours.
Yeah, well, now, what you been waiting up for, honey?
Because this come in the mail today.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to see the afternoon mail.
This was addressed to you, and I opened it by mistake. It's a New Year's card for you signed from one who loves you, your sweetheart.
Well, now, honey, somebody playing, you see,
George Stevens, I ain't so sure. You've been out late 3-4 nights in the past 2 weeks. How do I know you've been playing cards?
Yeah, well, there was nothing else for me to do, honey. You has been out in the evenings working on this welfare fund.
From one who loves you, your sweetheart. This female meant this to be sincere.
Yeah, but, darling, I know I wouldn't even look at another woman, though, honey.
Oh, no? What about that party we went to the other night when that young girl walked in that form-fitting, hand-knitted dress she claimed she made herself? You didn't take your eyes off of her all evening.
Honey, believe me, I was just trying to see what stitch she used. That's all I was.
Now, listen, George, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I ain't gonna get excited about this. But if this card is from a girl, I'll break your neck.
Well, I guarantee, honey, I'll find out who sent me that New Year's card.
You better find out who it's from. Good night.
Sweetheart, till we meet tomorrow.
Come in, Andy.
Yeah, hi, Kingfish, hi.
Andy, did you or anybody you know send me a New Year's card?
No, Kingfish, what's the matter?
Oh, somebody played a dirty trick on me. I got a New Year's card in the mail, and it looked like the thing is from some gal. Oh, my wife Sapphire sees the thing, and she raving mad.
Well, who signed it?
No signature. It was autonomous.
Oh.
Douglas, say down the bottom, from one who loves you, your sweetheart.
Yeah, well, a thing like that can cause serious reconcuctions at home, all right. What you going to do about it?
Well, I heard of a married man over here that got a New Year's card from a strange gal, and his wife found it out, so I done sent Lightning over to talk to him to see how he straightened it out with his wife, you see.
Oh, yeah. Hey, got to try everything, all right. What is all this mess you got here?
Well, I tell you what, I just got this out of the closet here. It's a box, and it's some old pictures and dresses in there, some of gals that I used to go with before I was married, you see.
Yeah.
Well, I want to see if one of them could have sent it to me.
Yeah, I can't tell. Maybe one of them old gals is still unsaturated with you.
Well, let's see here now. Here's a picture of a gal, but she's married and lives in California. Couldn't have been her.
Holy mackerel, look at this next picture. Did you know a dame as ugly as this one?
And that happens to be a picture of my wife, Sapphire.
Pretty. Yeah, she's pretty, yeah. I guess I had it upside down or something, King.
Look at here in this memory book, Andy.
Oh, yeah, there's a beautiful lock of hair. You sure was a romantic lover. What gal gave you this hair?
Gal, nothing. That's my hair.
Well, why would you put a lock of your hair in your memory book?
Well, if my hair ain't a memory, I don't know what is. Now,
oh, boy, look at this address book you got here.
Yeah.
You really know some gals. Look here, Gloria Armstrong. Tall girl, brown eyes, good dancer, but be careful. Can punch from sitting position.
Andy, I'm going to tell you something, boy. This is serious, you know what? Wait a minute. Come in. Come in. Did you get that information from me, Lightning?
Brother Kingfish, I went over to see that married man that got a card from some girl, but I couldn't see him.
You don't do nothing right, Lightning. I sent you over to find out from the man how he straightened the mess out with his wife, and you come back here without seeing him.
Well, he didn't straighten it out. His wife did.
How?
She shot him.
Oh, me. Get out of here, Lightning.
Yes, sir. I'll whiz right on out.
Say, Kingfish, why is your eye so big?
Listen, Andy. On account of burglaries in the neighborhood lately, I gave my wife a .32 revolver for Christmas.
Sure enough.
So, Andy, if you see a strange gal crying at my funeral, tell her I'm sorry that I didn't get a chance to thank her for the card, will you?
Oh, what did Ezekiel say when he saw the chariot rolling?
He said, I want to go home to glory.
Why don't you swing down, sweet chariot, stop and let me ride? Swing down, chariot, stop and let me ride. Rock me, Lord, calm and easy. I've got home on the other side. Why don't you swing down, sweet chariot, stop and let me ride? Swing down, chariot, stop and let me ride. Rock me, Lord, calm and easy. I've got home on the other side.
Well, Ezekiel was out in the middle of the field. He saw an angel working on the chariot wheel. Wasn't too particular about the chariot wheel. Just wanted to see how a chariot feels.
Why don't you swing, oh, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing, oh, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
Well, Ezekiel went down and got on board. The chariot went bumping on down the road. Wasn't too particular about bumping down the road. Just wanted to lay down his heavy load.
Why don't you swing down, sweet chariot, stop and let me ride? Swing down, chariot, stop and let me ride. Rock me, Lord, calm and easy. I've got home on the other side. On the other side, I've got my home.
I've got side. If I could just make it in.
Well, yesterday was Christmas, and tomorrow is Wash Day. Santa has had his turn at bringing you happiness, and now it's going to be mine, John Lake's. Yes, if you do your Monday wash with new Rinso, as I sincerely advise you to, you'll have a mighty pleasant wash day, and as beautiful a wash as you can get. You see, new Rinso, the Rinso you get in the store today, contains the rather amazing scientific sunlight ingredient, solium. Actually, Rinso with solium gets your clothes not just whiter, but whiter than new. Now, I know that sounds like a perfectly astonishing thing, but it's true. And it's been proved beyond a doubt. Your gay washable colors, too, turn out not just brighter, but brighter than the day you first wore them. Rinso with solium puts sunshine in your wash, even if that wash is dried indoors. Rinso is safe for all your family wash, so kind to your hands. So tomorrow, be sure to do that wash with new Rinso, the only soap that contains solium.
Well, come on, Andy. Let's go in the Shorty's barber shop here and see by any chance he knows who done sent me that card.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, hello there, Shorty.
Hi, fellas. I'm glad you came in. I'm going to tell you what happened just outside the shop here. There was two cars coming from both of them. There was a fellow with a gun. He was a white. He started. The fire department had to put out a bit. They were. Stop interrupting me, will you?
Listen, Shorty. Listen here, whatever happened, it ain't as important as what happened to the Kingfish. He wants to speak to you about a New Year's card that he got in the mail.
Yeah.
Say, speaking of New Year's cards, fellas, I just got one in the mail a few minutes ago. Here it is. I'll read it to you. Oh, it's really lovely.
What is the thing?
Oh, it's from Frank R. Thompson. You know that undertaker and funeral director that's up the block?
Oh, yeah, I know that undertaker. What did the card say?
Oh, it's beautiful. Listen. It says, happy thoughts at the old year's end. For long I've been your trusted friend. And here's my thought for 49. Perhaps this year you will be mine.
Yeah, Shorty, that's a beautiful thought, all right.
Shorty, I've been trying to find out who sent me a New Year's card signed Joe Sweetheart. Now, I don't know whether it was a joke or if it's from some gal that I ain't seen for a long time.
Hey, wait a minute, Kingfish. Don't you remember a gal by the name of Helen Jackson?
Oh, yeah, I used to go with her, but before I married and met Sapphire, but she lived down in Georgia.
Yeah, I know, but about a month ago, she come to New York, you know. She's living in that apartment over the new drugstore. Maybe she sent it. I don't think she knows you is married.
Yeah, Helen Jackson, come to think of it, she used to call me Sweetheart. I think I'll drop over and see her this evening and see if she sent it. My wife will be out doing welfare work. I'll tell her that I go into a lodge meeting.
Yeah, that might be a good lead for the Kingfish, Shorty.
Yeah, well, boys, I'm going to close up the shop here. I'm tired.
Shorty, look here. You was one of the hardest working fellas I ever saw.
Oh, yeah. I'm working too hard. But tomorrow I'm getting something in the shop here that'll save me a lot of time and work, too. As a matter of fact, what I'm getting is going to make it possible for me to shave two customers at the same time.
You could shave two customers at the same time?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, what in the world is you getting, Shorty?
Oh, I'm getting me one of them great big, I'm getting a special 60 cycle, I'm getting one of them new electric, you push the button, you turn, you plug in, when you get, another barber. Oh, yeah.
Well, Shorty said that she lived in the apartment over the drugstore. Well, this must be Helen Jackson's place. If she's the one that sent that card, I can clear this thing up right now. Women do the craziest things.
Good evening.
Excuse me, but is you Helen Jackson?
That's right.
Do you remember George Stevens from down in Georgia?
George Stevens. Why, of course, I can see the resemblance. You must be his father.
No, I was George Stevens, your old boyfriend.
Oh, yes, George. So, yeah, won't you come in?
Yeah.
take off your hat and coat.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm sorry I didn't recognize you, George. I mean, Mr. Steve. I hardly know what to call you. It's been years since we went together down in Georgia.
Oh, just call me the name you used to call me in them days.
All right. Well, how have you been, egghead?
I clean forgot about that one. Helen, by any chance, did you send me a New Year's card?
No, I didn't send you a New Year's card. Why would I? Excuse me. Hello?
Miss Jackson?
Yeah.
This is Mrs. Stevens, the chairman of the local welfare fund. One of our workers said you had a box of clothes to donate.
That's right.
Well, I happen to be in the drugstore right under your apartment. I thought I'd come up and get your contribution.
Well, that'll be fine. You can come right on up.
All right, I'll be up there in just a minute.
All right. I'll expect you. Goodbye, Mrs. Stevens.
You see, Helen, the reason I asked you about the card, did you just say, goodbye, Miss Stevens?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, well, I guess there's a lot of Stevens in New York. Telephone book must be loaded with them there. Now, as I was saying about the New Year's card...
She was down at the drugstore. She's on her way up here now. You see, she's the chairman of the local welfare committee, and I have some things for her.
Holy mackerel, that's the battle axe. I told her that I was at a large meeting tonight, or she'll never understand. Let me get out of here.
But, egghead!
Oh, wait a minute. Let me get down these steps. Oh, me, I left my overcoat in Helen's apartment. Just grabbing my overcoat. Holy smokes. I left my hat up there. Here's my hat. Now let me get out of here.
Excuse me, is this the apartment?
Out of my way, madam. My wife's on the way up here.
George Stevens!
Sapphire.
George, what you doing in this woman's apartment?
Well, I come up here. I went over. I tell you,
This is all I want to know. Just what I thought was going on. I'm going home right this second and start proceedings. I'm going to sue you for separate maintenance. Good night.
Sweetheart, tomorrow.
Oh, I tell you, Anna, this is the worst mess I ever been in. After Sapphire caught me leaving the gal's apartment, she wouldn't even give me a chance to explain. She went right home to her mama.
Yeah, Kingfish, that's a mess, all right.
Yeah, but the worst thing is, she is suing me for separate maintenance. So far, I've been able to duck the process server that she got after me.
Yeah, man looking for you with a summons, huh?
Oh, yeah, every time I see a strange man coming around here, I jump in that closet and lock the door from the inside.
Yeah, well, maybe you could hide over at...
Wait a minute. Who's that coming down the hall there?
Where?
Oh, Fred Gwendell, the newspaper man.
Oh, yeah. Come in, Gwendell. Come
Well,
in.
hello there, boys. Hello. Greetings and salutations.
I suppose you come over here to get the newspaper story about Sapphire suing the Kingfish for separate mayonnaise.
No, boys, no. I tell you what, boys, I is through with the newspaper.
Yeah, well, that's good news to me. What happened?
Well, the editor wanted me to write a gossip column telling about scandal about the married couples that I know in town that's having trouble, and I just wouldn't do dirty tricks like that to my friends, so I quit my job at the newspaper.
Well, now, that's what I call a gentleman and a true friend.
Sure is. What kind of job you got now?
As a process server, here's your summons, Kingfish. See you in court.
You know, when I told a friend of my wife's that new Rinso with Solium puts sunshine in your wash even if it's dried indoors, she said, John Lake, that's the most wonderful thing I ever heard. You mean I can get a bright wash without getting my hands cold and raw hanging the wash on the line? Yes, I said, and what's more, Rinso in your wash, whether it's dried indoors or out, gets white clothes not just whiter, but whiter than new. And washable colors not just brighter, but brighter than the day you bought them. New Rinso, you see, contains the scientific sunlight ingredient, Solium. It's the result of wartime research by the famous laboratories of Lever Brothers Company. Rinso with Solium gives your wash a new brilliance never known before new Rinso was developed. That wonderful Rinso brilliance must be seen to be appreciated. I think you'd better do your next wash with new Rinso. New Rinso is the only soap that contains Solium.
As judge of this court, I would like to warn the spectators we will have no demonstration while Mrs. Stevens, the plaintiff, is on the stand. Will the attorney for the plaintiff please proceed?
Mrs. Stevens, do you think that you could finish telling the court what happened?
Well, Your Honor, I was collecting for the welfare fund. And when I reached the top of the steps by the door leading to Miss Jackson's apartment, the door opened and my husband come rushing out and almost knocked me down. He said, "Out of the way, madam. My wife is on her way up here." I seen him with my own eyes, and that's why I want separate maintenance.
That will be all. Does Mr. Stonewall, the attorney for the defendant, wish to cross-examine Mrs. Stevens?
No, man. Don't use cross-examine her. She got the goods on her.
That will be all. That will be all, Mrs. Stevens.
Oh, Stonewall, I is nervous.
Yeah, but I ain't worried, Kingfish. I got a perfect record in this court, and I'm out to win this case so I can break my losing streak.
If that Helen Jackson hadn't gone out of town, she would have made a good witness for us.
Order in the court. Continuing with the case of Stevens versus Stevens, the attorney for the defense may now proceed.
Your Honor, I'd like to have my client, George Stevens, to take the stand.
Coming right up, yes.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
Yes, sir, yes.
Now, Mr. Stevens, in her complaint, your wife stated that you were absent from your home on various occasions. She further implied that on these nights you was seeking feminine companionship with a beautiful girl. Wasn't it, you rascal, you?
No, I was not.
Nice going, Bub. now, Mr. Stevens, will you tell us in your own words, what happened the night you lied to your wife about going to a large meeting and went to see your sweetheart, Helen Jackson, instead?
I just went to see this Helen Jackson to find out if she sent me a New Year's card and signed it your sweetheart. When she said she didn't, why, I rushed out of the apartment and I run into my wife just outside the apartment door.
There, Your Honor. That's my client's story, which shows exactly what his intentions was. Never for one moment was his plan to let his wife catch him in his girlfriend's apartment.
Wait a minute, Stonewall.
Don't worry, client. We got him rolling, huh? Your Honor, I would like to review the facts at this point. The evidence against my client shows, first, he stayed out late nights. Second, he lied to his wife. Third, she caught him coming out of another woman's apartment. But now, let me list the overwhelming facts in favor of my client. Now, one, Mr. Stevens never... he wasn't the... Your Honor, can we have a recess till I can think of something in favor of my
Well, this is very irregular.
Your Honor, as attorney for the plaintiff in this case, could I have your permission to cross-examine the defendant for just a second before he leaves the stand?
Proceed with the cross-examination.
Stonewall, what must I do?
Oh, don't worry, Kingfish. If you say anything out of line, I'll object right off the bat.
Yeah, well, get ready to object, cause he's gonna start on me here.
Now, Mr. Stevens, you admitted that you were a friend of Helen Jackson's. You admitted that you were alone in her apartment with her. Now, Mr. Stevens, just how friendly were you?
Well, you see, Stonewall, ain't you gonna object to that question?
No, man, I kind of enjoy hearing the answer to that
Do you refuse to answer that question?
Yes, I'm glad to refuse. Thank you for giving me the chance. Yes.
Now, Stevens, if this whole thing was so innocent as you claim, why did you attempt to run out of the apartment when you knew your wife was coming?
I object, Your Honor.
Why do you object to your client answering that question?
Because it'll hurt his reputation, which ain't too good as it is. Besides, that is irrelevant, immaterial, and several other things. And not only that, it's very embarrassing to the defendant.
Well, I don't see anything so embarrassing about it.
Listen, Your Honor, how would you like to get caught coming out of a dame's apartment?
If you don't watch your language in this court, you'll be cited for contempt.
Well, I'd like to apologize if I could.
Your Honor, could I interrupt this case?
Quiet. Quiet in this courtroom, please. Now, what is it, Mrs. Stevens?
When I got off the witness stand, there was a long-distance telephone call waiting for me from Miss Helen Jackson in Georgia. She'd heard about the case, and she's then explained everything, and I would like to drop the charges against my husband.
Well, Mrs. Stevens, it's the policy of this court to preserve the family unit whenever possible. It gives me pleasure to grant your request. Case dismissed.
Oh, Sapphire, thank you, honey, thank you.
George, I'm sorry I accused you of being involved with Helen Jackson.
Oh, gee, I is glad you talked to that gal and she straightened it out, honey. I is the happiest man in the world to be back with you.
Oh, I'm glad you're happy, George. And I'm glad the trial is over. But there'll always be a little something in my mind wondering who the female was that sent you that New Year's card.
Honey, look here, you has got to get that out of your mind. Well, Kingfish, me and Ruby is glad that you and Sapphire could come over for supper tonight and kind of celebrate you two getting back together again. Glad you could come too, Andy.
Yeah, when are we going to eat round here, Amos?
Sapphire's out in the kitchen now. Amos just said helping Ruby ought to be pretty quick, I guess. Well, Kingfish, I bet you is glad that trial is over, ain't you? I'll say I is, boy. But there's still a little cloud hanging over Sapphire's head about that New Year's card. And over mine, too.
Don't give us that stuff, you old wolf. Ha, ha, ha.
Amos, Ruby said if you boys is going to make so much noise, you better close the door to the kids' room. They're going to sleep.
Oh, thank you, Sapphire. Close the door, yeah. Da-da-dee-dee-dee. Look at that, fellas. There's my little daughter, Albedella, in there saying a prayer. I closed the door so she won't hear it.
And now, dear Lord, please bless Mama and Daddy, our family, and all their friends. And I hope Uncle Kingfish enjoyed the New Year's card I sent him. Amen.
And what I like about our announcer, John Lake, is that he don't try to beat you over the head when he sells you something.
He don't have to. He just tells you the facts about new Rinso with Solium. The truth about that wonderful new Rinso is enough to make everybody want it.
Andy, you're right. Rinso is so marvelous that today more women use Rinso than any other wash day soap in the world. Only new Rinso contains Solium.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are two very happy fellows. Starting next Sunday and every Sunday thereafter, the Jack Benny Show and What a Show will be on the Columbia Broadcasting System just ahead of us.
Yes, sir. Next Sunday, you will get Jack Benny at the same time you always get him, but you'll get him on the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Listen to CBS next Sunday for Jack Benny and Amos and Andy right together. So in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, a very happy New Year.
And that goes for everybody in the cast. See you next Sunday.
Jackpot on Sing It Again, heard on Saturday nights over CBS, is now worth $18,500. Here's a new clue to the Phantom Voice. She's what you call a real good looker who caught the eye of Adolf Zucker.
Amazing? Yes, but doctors proved it. Lifebuoy Health Soap in your daily bath gets skin cleaner, stops BO as no other leading soap can. Get Lifebuoy right away.
Stay tuned in for the adventures of Sam Spade, which follow immediately over many of these stations.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.